Hi everyone, welcome to another tutorial in Excel with UT. So in this tutorial, we are going to cover another basic functionality in Excel, and that is called filters. So filters is a very basic functionality in Excel, wherein, as the name suggests, you can filter the data in a data set using any of the required conditions. Okay, for example, if I show pictorially, what do I mean to say? I have few values which are the shirts with different color, and I want to select a shirt with pink color in it. So I have to use the condition filter. I have to use the functionality called filter. So that is how you can use filter, and there are numerous conditions and combinations that you can use, which we are going to see when we are going to move into the data set. So let's jump into the data set. So this is a sample data set where we're going to do some operations and see how we can use filter, filter functionality in Excel. So first of all, whenever you have to apply the filters, there are two ways. You put your cursor in the data set, you go to data tab, and you click on this button called filter. So this will automatically apply filters on all the columns that are there in the data set. Now, just be mindful that all the columns should be in continuation. Otherwise, it does not work or give you proper result. So you cannot have multiple blank columns in between like this. So then it will not give you proper result. So all the columns should be in combination, should be in continuation to have this thing working. Also, another way to apply filter is a shortcut, which you can say Ctrl+Shift+L. So when you press Ctrl+Shift+L, it applies the filter. And again, if you press Ctrl+Shift+L, it removes the filter. So this is another way you can apply the filter here. So let me just apply the filter. So when you apply the filter and when you click on any of the filter on any of the column, it gives you a drop down which shows all the functionality and the values that you can filter the column values basis that. So now here you can see you have put on a filter on the column employee, and it gives you all the unique employee in the drop down basis which you can filter the values. Now, for example, if I just want to filter the employee data having Ravi in it, I'll just unselect the other values and only select the employee name Ravi. Now you can see it has only filtered the data with the employee name Ravi in it. You can again go back to the dialog box by pressing on the drop down, and you can clear filter from here. The moment you clear filter from here and you press outside, you can see you are back to the original data. So this is how you can filter. Similarly, if I go to the months column, so if I click on this select all, it deselects all the months, and I can only select the ones that I want. For example, if I only want Jan and Feb data, I will only select Jan and Feb and apply filter. I'll click outside and I'll see I've got the data only with months Jan and Feb in it. Again, I will open the dialog box. When I'm done with my filtration, I'll clear the filter. So this is how you operate using the filters. Now let me show you, you can use some wildcards in the filtration to select values basis some unique conditions. So this works with dates, this works with text and digits as well. Now, for example, in this column, brand, I open the filter dialog box and I want the value which contains phone as the word in the value. So I'll use wildcard and I press phone. So with this wildcard, it means the word phone is at the end and there can be anything in the front. If I apply filter, so you can see it has filtered all the values that has the word phone at the last, and there can be anything in front of it. So this is how the wildcard works. I can clear the filter. Now let's say I want something which some value which has the word phone in it, and if I put the wildcard on both the sides and apply filter, so you can already see in the preview here, it is giving me the value wherein the word phone is there in the value, and there can be anything in front of it, and there can be anything out after the word phone in it. And if I apply the filter, click outside, you can see it has given me the values where I had filtered with the word phone as I was using the wildcard, wherein I had put the wildcard on both the ends of the phone. So it has given me the values where there can be anything in front of the word phone, and there can be anything in front after the word phone in it. So this is how you can use the wildcard while filtration. Let me just clear the values. Also, now you can use the same functionality using the custom filters in the dialog box that we open. Now, if you see, there are multiple one functionality that you see here, choose one. If you open this, it gives you a list of filtration functionality basis which you can filter the data. For example, if I select contains and I type here phone, apply filter, it has given me a similar result which I was achieving from using the wildcard. So this is an inbuilt functionality in the filter dialog box wherein I can get the desired results using the custom filters. So it has given me all the values which contains phone. So this is how you can use any number of any number of custom filters that are there in the dialog box. And you can also use a combination of the custom filters here. If you see, let me just clear it and show what I mean. So you can also use the condition in combination. And when I say in combination, there are two combinations. One is a AND condition and one is a OR condition. Okay. So let me just select contains. Just select from any of the drop down and it will activate the AND and OR condition. Okay. Now you can simply use your custom filter as well. For example, I use something called contains phone and I use the AND condition, and I use a separate condition. You can use multiple condition in combination. Begins with ultra. So when I apply this filter, you can see it has given me the value which contained the word phone and began with the word ultra in it. Now I can clear this. So this is how you can use the custom filters with multiple combination. Similarly, you can also use it with an OR condition. Just select from any of the drop down. So this will activate the AND and OR condition. Now you can simply customize your section. You can say contains phone. And now if I select the OR condition and I say begins with, let's say, Apple, and if I apply the filter, now you can see it has given me the data wherein the values begin with Apple and it contained the word phone. So this is how you can use custom filters with both the condition and an OR. And you can use a combination of filters. You can use a combination of selections. You can use OR, you can use and individually as well, you can use all these conditions to filter your data. So this gives you an enhanced functionality to filter your databases, numerous conditions, a permutation and combination of different selection criteria that is there. Okay, let me just clear the filters. Now, similar to this, you can also work with the dates. It has a very good functionality wherein if you work with the dates column that is containing dates, you can see you try to select any of the selection criteria. And with dates, you can see it gives you a range of different selection criterias, and there are a lot of selection criterias. So let me just show you one example. Let me just take between. The moment you select any one criteria, it gives you a condition whether you want to use it with a AND condition or you want to use it with a OR condition. Okay. Now the good thing here is you don't have to manually type the date. You can select from the calendar here. So for example, if I want to go to January and I want to select a date after 24th, and here let me use it before, and again go back to January and I use something like 28th and apply filter. So it has given me the range that I had selected, the dates between the range that I had selected. So this is how you can use the selection criteria within the dates. If I clear the filter here and go back again to the selection criteria, you can see there are a list of selection criteria that you can use there. You can also use direct selection criteria. For example, you want to see the data of the last year, you simply press last year, you apply filters, and you can see it has just given me the data of the last year. You can again go back, you can clear filter, and you can select from the list of all these selection criterias whichever suits you and whichever the result you want to look into the data. So this is how you can work with dates, and it can help you to select between a range of dates and with all these numerous conditions, with all these conditions that are there in the dialog box. So it's a very good functionality here. Now again, if I go back to the column brand, so you can also filter by the color. If you are randomly colored few cells, for example, I had colored these two cells with some color, and now you just want to filter basis the color. You were looking into some aspect and you you filtered, you kind of highlighted those cells with some color, and now later on you just wanted to filter basis the color you had put in. You can again go back to the drop down. You can say by color. Now you can come to the filter option by color. The moment you put a drop down, you can see it is showing you the option to be filtered basis cell color and font color. Now here, if I filter basis the cell color yellow, it has given me the values where the cell was colored with yellow. Now similarly, if I go back again to by color, and now this time I want the values where the font color is red. I choose this option and automatically you see it has given me the values where the font color was red and not the cell color. So this is how you can also filter values basis the color of the cell or the color of the font if you have if you have it in your data basically. I'll clear the filters here. Now, for example, if you unselect all, so this will unselect all the data and now you can select only the ones that you want. You apply the filter here and you want to copy this data to a new sheet. You place your cursor somewhere in between the filtered data. You select all. You can use the shortcut Ctrl A and you copy this data. And now if you move to a new sheet and if you paste here, so you can see here it has only pasted the filtered data here. So this is how you can paste the filtered data from the sheet that you were working on. Now it has not pasted the complete data set, it has only pasted the filtered data set. So this is how you can filter a particular data and you can only use that data set and paste it in a different sheet. So I'll get out of this mode and release the filter. Now you can also apply some operations in the filtered data. Now, for example, what I mean here, you want to take a sum of the order count for few of the brands. Let me filter the brands here. And I want to take a sum of the order of the brand Apple and Nokia phone. So I'll just select Apple and Nokia phone and apply filter. So I want to take a sum of what is the order count for these two brands. So you have the formula subtotal. You can use subtotal. You enter into this. You take the sum 9, comma, and you give them the range. You close this, you press enter. Now you can see it has given me the sum of the order count for the selected brands that I had selected. Now, if you go back to the brand and you clear filter, instead you choose Samsung and Ultra phone and apply filter. Now it has automatically taken the sum of the new selection criteria that you've taken. So this is how you can use subtotal formula to add the numerics that are there in your data. So this is one way to, so similarly, you can use the count function here and you can count the number of data attributes which were there in your data. So this way you can one by one you can go and you can do simple operations in your selected data. Also, there is another better way to do these operations all at once rather than going one by one, and that is by creating a table. So how you can do that is simply you can create a table. Let me just copy the data set again and I'll show you. So you can simply create a table. You can insert a table. So you can say okay. So this has created a table for your data set. Now if you don't want this particular format, you can clear the formatting. So now here, this is still a table. You can see you have the table name here. You can give a name as well, which you can reference later on. So it is still a table, but there is no formatting here, the regular formatting that the tables has. So it has still, however, the good thing here would be you will be able to use all the functionality the table has. Now, the above operations that I was talking about, so how you can use here, you click the table here, and in the table sections on the top, you have a total row. Check on this total row, and now you see there is a total row that has been inserted into your table. Now, this is a very good functionality here in the table, wherein it will give you the option to use any functions all together at once. For example, it gives you a drop down, and if you select from the drop down, you can do any of the operations. For example, I want a sum here, and it has given you the sum of all the order counts. Now, if you just select only few values here, it will automatically show the sum of those filtered values. You can see it has given you the sum of those filtered values. Similarly, you can do different operations in different cells. You can do a count here. So it has given you the count of different cells here. Okay. And similarly, you can, so the good thing about the total here is, the good thing about the functions of the table here is you can do the different operations all together at once. Okay. You have done sum here, you have done count here, you can do an average here. It has given you the average here. So this way you can do different operations all together at once in the data set, and you don't have to individually go to each column and do your operations. So this is a better way to do mathematical operations in a filtered data set by creating a table. So that's how you see the functionality filters. I've covered all the basic aspects, how you can use the filters with different selection criteria, and you can select and you can filter the data as per your choice, and you can do the analysis. So I think the video was helpful, and let me know in the comments if you have any concerns. We will also try to make an advanced video on the filters in the upcoming videos. Thank you so much.